Hello everybody, this is John. Welcome to the weekly water outlook for the Southeast U.S. January 26, 2014. Well, really the story this winter, not just over the Southeast U.S., but over most of the nation, has been the unusually cold temperatures. The coldest temperatures here, that polar vortex, is indicated in the areas of purple and teal. And it's sort of poised up in Canada right now in the Great Lakes, and it looks like it's going to wobble back to the south. And that's going to really be the story. I'll give you sort of a teaser of my briefing. That's going to go right into February. Now, if we look at the past 7 days, observed precipitation. Most of the southeast, a very quiet week. It was just cold, except for the parts of Virginia and parts of North Carolina. There was some precipitation in that area. But if we look at the percent of normal, 25% or less over almost the entire area. Some enhanced snowfall over the higher elevations here. You can see in this region a bit, but other than that, a pretty quiet week. Now, temperatures, though, were unusually cold, noticeably cold. Look at that blue. So it was actually some pockets of purple here, and that's at least 10 to 15 degrees below normal. Blue is 4 to 6 degrees or more below normal, and not as cold as the upper Midwest here, but definitely, look at this. This is the blue here, came way into the southeast U.S., except for the 4 coastal areas, Mississippi, Alabama, much of Georgia, unusually cold over the last 7 days. Now, as far as snowfall goes, we did experience some snow in the higher elevations of the Appalachians, also Virginia and the upper northern part of North Carolina. Actually, some heavier snow here in parts of Virginia, the western sections with that area of green. That's over 8 inches of snow, even near a foot of snow in some of the higher elevations. So there is still some snow on the ground. You can sort of track it along the higher elevations here and then into Virginia. Across Mississippi, Alabama, most of Georgia, except perhaps the 4 highest elevations, no snow reported on the ground. So the jet stream this week, the current steering winds, really all the atmospheric energy, the strongest, and these are the winds, yellow and red are the strongest winds. These are all in the upper Midwest, and that's going to pretty much stay in that area. But there is a little bit of atmospheric energy in the southern jet, and that could enhance some precipitation over a limited part of the southeast U.S. this week. But I think really the big story here is going to be the Arctic Oscillation. Now remember that Arctic Oscillation, it's an imbalance in atmospheric pressure. This is the zero line, so when it's above this, it's a positive phase, and when it's below this, it's a negative phase. These are ensembles or different model runs, and most of them, as indicated in blue, are indicating a deeply negative phased Arctic Oscillation this week. Maybe a bit of a rebound, but stay negative until further notice. I think what's significant is how deep this is expected to go. Look at this, a -3. And if I track that back, all the way back through October, all winter, this is going to be the most negative that the Arctic Oscillation has been. And then as we get into February, we see here it's going to remain negative, and perhaps even some of these ensemble models bring it extremely negative once again. So that's really going to be the story, unusually cold air. So if we look at the position of the polar vortex towards the middle part of the week, area of purple is generally the unusually cold air, and it's dipping again into parts of Alabama, Mississippi, North Georgia, but then milder air over the eastern part. So there's a transition zone indicating that cold front towards the middle part of the week. That's going to be sinking to the south and bringing cold air over the entire region by the end of the week. So as far as precipitation goes, this is going to be in the form of snow, frozen precipitation, because it's going to be pretty unusually cold. But most of the southeast looks fairly dry. There could be some brushing the northern sections late in the period. But what's interesting, this is the snow accumulation. This goes through February 3rd. Could be interesting later this week as that transition comes through. It looks like there could be a band of some snow over coastal areas, some heavier snow here as indicated by purple towards mid and late part of this week. So keep an eye on that because it does look like that would be unusual for that area, that heavy of a snow, and otherwise just cold temperatures. Now, I think there's another story developing here I want to bring to your attention. This is the potential for unusually cold temperatures well into November or February. This is the week 2 outlook, and I wanted to show you that the temperature outlook here for week 2 looks like temperatures and this is the period February 2nd through the 8th. It looks like temperatures are going to be fairly close to normal. It looks like the cold air will sort of retreat back to the north. Precipitation could be enhanced, and that's not unusual. Usually cold Arctic air, precipitation lighter, then when it moderates, your chances of precipitation will increase a bit. So it looks like February 2nd through 8th, we could get a better chance on some precipitation. Right now, it doesn't look unusually heavy. I think it looks more like moderate precipitation. Now, once that goes through, it looks like then we get into February 9th through 15th, and look at this cold air. An incredible push of Arctic air further south, and that could be pushing in closer towards the latter part of this period as well. So it looks like we're going to have cold earlier this week, and then probably a little bit of a moderation, and then as we get into February, especially after that first week, it looks very, very cold right now, and the models have been showing this for a while, so it looks like a very cold period. And at the same time, we do have some enhanced precipitation. So over the southeast U.S., it could be some winter weather as we get into the middle part of February. And I'll keep you updated on this, but it does look like it could not only be unusually cold, but it could be a bit snowy as well. So at least this week, dry conditions generally persist along the except for along the coast where there could be that enhanced snowfall. There will be some temperature fluctuations this week as that cold air brushes to the south. It pushes in and brings us another round of cold air. And then it really looks like a cold February is on the way, especially settling in after that first week in February. If you have any questions, there's my email. You can always contact me. I'd like to hear from you. If not, I'll be giving you another update next weekend.